Good morning, everyone. It's Joker, and today we are back with another slime video, and once more into the Conquest Calamity event. This time we're going to take on the Bastion of Iron, which is going to be the Golem. I don't think I put these in here because they didn't populate because I didn't reset, but each stage does have other missions attached alongside just clearing them. So 4 physical, 4 magic, and then 1 free-to-play character somewhere in one of those runs. They're not ridiculously hard missions. It's just going to depend on who you can really get away with. But looking at the Golem itself, it's got not a lot of HP compared to like Hinata with her 9 million. Very high attack and fairly high defense. Still resistant to stun. Wants you to hit with a magic character. Nerfs blues. Crit resistance, and then this is also like the orc where within like 7 turns or so, if you don't kill it, it's going to one-shot 4 people probably minimum. So we are on a soft timer. Most teams can be able to do this. 1.8 million is not that much HP. Like, it could be a lot worse. It could have 9 million, right? Like Hinata. Even the orc had a little bit more. Yeah, he had slightly more. So this shouldn't be that hard, especially with fire teams. Like, burn is really going to work very, very well here, on top of some of the good, substitutable, okay fire characters. Like, Violet will still work probably pretty well here. Even if there is a crit resistance, we can kind of get around that by just bringing someone to give her more to crit damage. So let's do that. Let's make a burn team first off. Okay, I just wanted to throw this in as an example. I tried to go super duper old school and build a Fire 2.0 team. So Benimaru, free-to-play hero. We've got Christmas Shizu, and then Violet in the back. So right here. And then we've got Warrior's Mind Violet for the crit damage and the ult resistance down. And I was like, how ghetto can we make a fire team that could maybe put up 1.8 million damage? I vastly overestimated the power of Violet. Even with the fire buff and the pierce buff and the attack and the crit and burn and the crit damage, we ended up not doing very well. So if this is your only fire team, like this kind of option or somewhat relatable support characters, I've got really bad news for you. Because Violet does 343,000 damage. She's not an EX character. She doesn't have an EX upgrade. She's just as is. So if that was your only thought for Fire Team, you're going to have to wait a little bit longer. Alright, so when I say Burn Team, I meant Tempest Elite Rimuru, because he has Burn. Greater Burn, actually. So it's a little bit better than like Violet from Fire 2.0 and Benimaru's Burn. But we're going to run a New Year's Blessing-ish team, because most of the Fire teams, minus Violet's old-ass team, they're all Blue Orb focused, which the Golem nerfs blues pretty heavily. So that's not really going to work for us. So we're going to try and brute force it with New Year's Xion, giving us crit and synergy. The Golem's crit resistance does leave on turn 5, so we can freely nuke with him without any extra defense that we have to worry about. We're going to take out New Year's Rimuru, and we're just going to run these 3 plus Summer Shizu for the ult swap and weakness strike, and then having a backup single target fire character to maybe have a secondary ult, because we're definitely going to need it, because this is not the first time I've run this team. It does not do the damage that you would expect it to. Mainly because we're not running a protector that gives another 60 to 100% damage against a certain element. So otherwise we'd be doing kind of what I expect. But let's do... Actually, who has the highest attack? I really hope it's Milim. So 13-7, 14-7, 14-2. Ooh, it is not Milim. Okay. So let's just send the Milim Orbs then and pray we can get 2 more Shinchas next turn. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that works. Because now we can guarantee that we get a full hand. Maybe not Xion, but we can still get a full hand here. And we can make sure that the next hand is all orange. So boom, full Shinsha, okay. Future Hand of Oranges, ready to go. And then we'll bring in Rimuru and we'll get started on the EX ult. We're not going to get it, but we'll be fairly close. And we have a few turns to really make this up. But what's important is that I don't use the burn skill until turn 4. I want to use it twice so we have a total of 60% greater burn to do damage here. Oh, it missed Milim. That's actually kind of important. Please tell me we got some Rimuru orbs here. We got... Oh, well, two will work. Okay. So let's bring you in for Milim. We can alt swap here. Thankfully, we got lucky there. You might have to reset a few times or something if it doesn't work out for you. But then let's take Shinsha out. This should get us the EX ult for Rimuru. Yeah, perfect. So let's go ahead and use the weakness strike buff because it lasts for multiple turns. And we're going to get the EX ult, and then we can just send Rimuru away after this. So defense up. Okay, cool. Whatever. EX ult ready to go. Now we'll use a burn stack. And then we'll just get you out of here. So you can hold on to that weakness strike buff as well. So you out. Diablo... Diablo out? Yeah. Diablo, you... No, you stay in. We're going to alt swap this one blue. Or I could do the orange. It doesn't actually matter. Let's just do this since it's cheaper. Okay. Now we'll send this. Unfortunately, we have no Shizu orbs at all, so we're not going to have that backup DPS that I was looking for. But we do have a Shinsha ult, and technically a Diablo EX ult if he was ever capable of that. But he's not. So we're going to have to pray that we can do enough damage here. 6,000 burner's not great. Diablo has a couple orbs. So does Shinsha, but we kind of need Shinsha's buff. So Diablo, how many points do we actually have versus what we need? So 40, 95, plus another 50, so 145 points? Plus the burn. 145, I think actually we have enough. So 1, 2, 60... We don't have enough. Math is hard. Okay, well, I think we're going to forego the crit resistance down then, because that's just extra points that we don't need, or can't afford to use. So, Diablo, you get out of here. You're no longer useful. No Rimuru orbs is kind of unfortunate, but we do need Shinsha in here. And then we'll do the alt and crit damage, we'll do the burn, we'll do the attack and alt damage right here, which kind of overlaps with Shinsha because she's doing 80% while Reamer's doing 100 for himself, but at least Shinsha will then get an alt, or alt buff to in general, and then we'll bring Milim in to do the final buff, the synergy, and then the alt resistance down. And I'm praying that with the extra weakness strike buff from Shizu, plus the double burn, that this is enough to kill, even though we don't have a Rimuru, like 200% orb. So 135, okay. Rimuru does 1 million, and we're going to do 60% of that in follow-up damage. So that should kill. Should kill. Should kill. Thank God, 620k. Probably just barely killed, but it worked. And if we had like a 200% Rimuru orb, or if you have the Shizu alt to follow up, then it would have very much guaranteed. So you have some insurance here that we didn't get, but you could fish for. So that technically works. Let's find another team that technically works, without burn now. Okay, so I know blue orbs are nerfed. We're going to try it anyways, with the power of Coleus Rimuru and the rainbow orbs. Now he's not skill fused, which might be a mistake. I might skill fuse him for this, because 1 turn of rainbows is great. 2 turns is better, and there's really no downside to him being skill fused, but I do want to see if we can do it without him fused, in case like you don't have the materials to fuse him or something like that. But we are running a team that is fire focused with a protector that actually gives us damage against earth enemies, so maybe we don't even need like that much power for Shuna or Momiji to wipe him off? Let's find out. Okay, we actually got a really good starting hand, too. We just got a Violet convert turn 1. Can't really ask for anything better than that. So let's bring Shuna in for Soe and Momiji in for Rimuru. That way we can keep him in the back for his orb change being useful. Is Shuna going to hit harder, or does it really matter? I don't think it matters. 12, 12-2, 12-4. Okay, so Shuna does hit slightly harder, and she'll be a single target ult. But we've taken off, an okay chunk of damage right there. That, I'm not exactly mad at that. Do you think we could send those 2 blue orbs and get, maybe a full hand of oranges next turn? Or we just send the oranges and then pray? I think we should send the oranges. Yeah, let's do that. So 73 points back. Maybe we only need to use, 1 convert, and then we can rainbow on turn 3 and try it. Yeah, we can certainly do that. All right, so you come out of here. We'll use Soe's convert. Now, if you don't have Soe, you could bring a different orb changer. You could bring Water Shuna or some other blue converter guy that would give an alt buff or something, and you're just gonna be missing the attack and the massive synergy power buff. But all right, so let's convert these into rainbow. We only have it active once, and it's great that we have a 2-2 spread of our actual DPS characters. And since they're no longer blues, they're not going to be super nerfed. 1, 2, I don't really care about his damage. Okay. We can make that work. So let's alt swap. Boom. And then we'll bring Soe in for Rimuru, since none of his orbs are these colored. Do that convert. Boom. And do this convert. Are the blues actually not nerfed anymore? Oh, they're not. Oh. I thought he would have reapplied that. I mean, I know it says in the description that that's a 3-turn nerf, but I thought that after 3 turns he would just reapply it. Oh, okay. Well, then this is very much doable. You just need rainbows to get past the first 3 turns. And as long as you can manage it well, then you're going to be fine. Okay. That makes this stage much less difficult. Because if you can just wait out 3 turns, use the rainbows turn 3, and turn 4, especially if you skill fuse, then you're going to be looking good. So turn 5, we have 2 EX ults, we have 300 points. This should not be a problem at all. We're going to miss the 100% Pierce power from Benimaru, because we're not going to make it to turn 8. But I really don't think we're going to need that, especially with 2 EX ults. So let's pick the buffs now. I guess we do the weakness strike and the magic buff for Shuna. Pierce rate and fire attack. That's synergy and synergy resistance. Let's do this and then Soe's buff. So synergy rate, we'll still get a little bit of synergy power and the attack buff. Yeah, let's go that route. Since Shuna already has a magic buff, I'm not as concerned about using Violet's buff here. So if you want to bring some cheaper buffs, you could totally do that. And I really don't think we're gonna have a problem here. Momiji might just outright kill, for all I know. Yeah, sure, we'll watch this. She doesn't have her personal fire buff now. She's got everything minus the magic buff that everyone else has on this team. Plus, 4 stacks of Benny? 693, and then Shuna will do more than that, because she's single target, and she's got the magic buff as well. So we won. Okay, that's much less intimidating for people. Do you need the rainbow orbs, though? Is that a requirement to get past the first 3 turns? Yeah, 1.9. Okay. She one-shots. Even at full HP. The rainbows definitely would be helpful, but even if you don't have Coleus Rimuru, if you have Octagram Demon Lord Milim or New Year's Rimuru, you could get away with it. You definitely could. You don't need this particular Rimuru specifically. Okay, well that makes things. And then at that point, you could run all of the other blue orb teams that give you extra damage against fire. So you could run Tempest Elite, you could run Festive Memories. Yeah, we can't really run Fire 1 or Fire 2.0. Tempest, I think Tempest Elite's up here. Yeah, there she is. Trainee's team. Like, Rimru's, that's his team, technically, and he would get the extra damage from Trainee, so then we really wouldn't have a problem because we have the follow-up orbs as well. And then the burn would actually do something. Yeah, there's a number of teams, but we're just going to showcase those 2.5, technically, today. So, if you beat it with a different team, please let me know in the comments. But that's it from me. Take it easy, and I'll see you all later.